This is Jarrod Horak, and this is my latest handicapping video. And in this video, I'm going to analyze the Perryville Stakes at Keeneland, and that's for Saturday, October 21st, 2023. Now, for October 14th, I did the QE, the second Challenge Cup at Keeneland, and my top choice, Maj, shipped from overseas and got the job done as the favorite. Let's see if I can get another Keeneland video winner here. And I'm also going to be doing the Raven Run Stakes at Keeneland for Saturday, October 21st. So stay tuned to that one this week on my YouTube channel as well. Now, if you're interested in my full card analysis at Santa Anita Park, you can head on over to the runawayrhorse.com. You'll find those full cards on my sales page each day Santa Anita runs. And I'm also going to be covering my annual 2-day Breeders' Cup full cards this fall, and that's at Santa Anita Park as well. So head on over to the runawayrhorse.com on my sales page for more details on those Santa Anita full cards and those Breeders' Cup 2023 full cards. And if you're interested in reading my Breeders' Cup 2023 handicapping articles, head on over to todaysracingdigest.com. In their news section, you will find my Breeders' Cup articles each day. I've been doing Breeders' Cup angles articles for all of the Breeders' Cup races. So far, I've written for all Breeders' Cup Friday races, all 5 for Breeders' Cup Friday, and then all 9 races for Breeders' Cup Saturday. Earlier today, I posted the Breeders' Cup Sprint. That was my final race. So I've covered articles for all 14 Breeders' Cup races at todaysracingdigest.com. And in the description in this video, I'll provide links to all of my Breeders' Cup handicapping articles. Or you can just go over to todaysracingdigest.com, click on the news tab, and then check out all of my Breeders' Cup articles there. Now let's get into the analysis of this video. And as I said, Saturday, October 21st, it'll be the 6th race at Keeneland. And it's the $250,000 listed Perryville Stakes. It's for 3-year-olds, 7 furlongs on the main track, scheduled post time 3:40 p.m. Eastern Time. Verifying will break from the inside post for trainer Brad Cox. This is a son of Justify, and Flavian Prat will ride. He's run 10 times, 3 wins, 4 runner-up finishes. He's run twice at Keeneland. He hasn't won at Keeneland, but he did finish second in the Bluegrass Stakes, and he's run once at this 7-furlong distance. That was last time out in the H. Allen Jerkins Memorial, and he ended up finishing second in that race. Now, he's one that he just couldn't go those longer distances, but at least up to a mile and a 16th, and then sometimes he was competitive at a mile and an 1/8. Now, as a 2-year-old last year, he broke his maiden at Saratoga, 6 furlongs, and he went wire to wire that day. The Grade 1 Champagne Stakes, he finished second after stalking the pace. He was up the track in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He returned with a strong 1 mile around 2 turns optional claiming victory at Oaklawn Park in January, where he tracked the pace, he took over, and he won easily. The Rebel Stakes, he was a troubled 4th from the inside post. The Bluegrass Stakes, he was second by a neck behind Tapit Trice after chasing the pace. That was his best effort at a mile and an 1/8. And then in the Kentucky Derby, he was a pace casualty there. He had an inner post. He got caught in a suicidal pace duel. He weakened. He finished 16th in that 18-horse field. He bounced back with a second-place finish in the Grade 3 Matt Winn Stakes in the slop at a mile and an 1/8. Then he cut back from a mile and an 1/8 to a mile and a 16th in the Indiana Derby, and he won that one by a nose after chasing the pace. Then he was second last time, as I mentioned. So he's one that has some tactical speed. It's a shorter field. We only have 6 horses, and I would expect that he's going to be forwardly placed from that inside post. Confidence Game is making his first start since the Kentucky Derby for trainer Keith DeSarmo, and this is a son of Candy Ride. James Graham, his regular rider, will stay aboard. And he's run 8 times, 3 wins, a second and 2/3. He's run once at Keeneland, and he finished second. He can sprint. In his second career start, he proved that when he dueled on the lead and he pulled clear and he won by 5 at 6 furlongs at Churchill Downs. That was summer of 2022 in August. The Grade 3 Iroquois Stakes, he finished 5th in a 9-horse field. And then his next start, he was second, beaten 7 lengths at Keeneland in an optional claiming route. In his next start, that was at Churchill Downs against Optional Claiming Company. He wired the field at a mile and a 16th. The Grade 3 Lecomte Stakes, he was 3rd after chasing the pace. He stalked and scored as an 18-1 long shot in the Grade 2 Rebel Stakes in the slop on February 25th. Then he was off from February 25th till the Kentucky Derby. They decided to train him up to the Kentucky Derby. He actually ran okay in the Derby. He was 21-1. It was an 18-horse field. As I mentioned earlier, the pace was fast. He was chasing that pace. He worked his way up to 4th after 6 furlongs, but then he got tired after that. He finished 10th, beaten 14 lengths. and he hasn't been seen since that race, and we'll see how he does here. He did show speed in his sprint race, and he showed some at least positional speed in his route races. So I would expect in this race, coming off of the layoff and he's fresh, maybe eager to go, he'll show some good tactical speed in this spot. Post Time is next, and he is 3-1 for trainer Brittany Russell. This is a son of Frost, and then he's 4-for-4 lifetime, and he won from off the pace in all 4 starts in Maryland. A race originally scheduled for the turf run at 5.5 furlongs on the main track in his career debut, October of 2022. He sat back in 5th in an 8-horse field, and he powered away, and he won by 2 lengths. In his second career start, 7 furlongs at Laurel, he stalked from 4th in a 7-horse field, and he pulled away, and he won by almost 7. His third start, December of 2022, the Maryland Juvenile Stakes. And in that race, he rallied from last place. So he went first to last in a 7-horse field, and he won going away by a bit less than 4 lengths as the even money favorite. And then he returned September 22nd of this year, 6 furlongs at Pimlico, 7-horse field. He went last to first, won going away by more than 4 lengths. So he's one that certainly has a lot of ability from off the pace. I just don't know that he's going to get enough pace to chase in this spot. Cain is next, and he's the third entrant that ran in the Kentucky Derby, and he was up the track that day. And he's one that was strong in the Gotham Stakes earlier this year. That was in the mud. It was a quick pace. He had post 11 in a 14-horse field. He was 11th early, and he just powered away from the others, and he won by more than 7 lengths. He liked the wet track. He liked the race setup that he got that day. The Grade 1 Bluegrass Stakes was his next start. He didn't get a good setup there. He was in post 10, and they ended up finishing 5th of 11. In his next start, the Kentucky Derby, he ran okay. He was 8th, beaten 10 lengths, never really got involved there. 18-horse field. He did get enough pace help. He just wasn't good enough. And then in his next start, in the Slop in the Matt Winn Stakes, he stalked. He finished 4th, beaten 7 lengths. Verifying was 2nd. Verifying defeated him by a nose in the Grade 3 Indiana Derby. That was at a mile and a 16th. Then the mile and an 8th West Virginia Derby, he was 4th. And he was beaten more than 6 lengths there. The Grade 3 Ohio Derby, he was 4th, beaten a length. So now cutting back in distance is probably a good thing for him. 3 starts at Keeneland with a win and a third, so we know he handles Keeneland, and he's 1-for-1 at this 7-furlong distance. So Cain, I think the distance could end up working for him, but he's going to try to rally from off the pace, and I just don't know that he's going to get quite enough pace help. And Luis Saez is going to ride. Dr. Venkman is next, and he's shipping in from Del Mar for trainer Mark Glatt. This is the son of Ghost Zapper, and he's 2-for-2 lifetime. He was strong in both wins at Del Mar. July 21st was his unveiling, 6.5 furlongs. He stalked from 4th in a 10-horse field. He was 4-1, and he just powered away, and he won by more than 5. He was 40 cents on the dollar second time out. Optional claiming race, 7 furlongs at Del Mar. 3-year-olds and up. Just like his debut, it was 3-year-olds and up as well. And he stalked the pace. It wasn't quick second time out. He took over, and he just won for fun. He won by more than 5 lengths, a 9-horse field. Powerful win and a stronger speed rating that he earned second time out. Paid $105,000 for this one. You have to think his long-term goal is going to be the day after Christmas, the Grade 1 Malibu Stakes for 3-year-olds on the West Coast at Santa Anita. But right now, I like how they're taking small incremental steps. They went from maiden special weight to an optional claiming weight race, and now they're going to go into a listed stakes race. And then if he performs well here, they'll step up and run him against tougher again next time. John Velasquez is aboard, and he had a bullet workout at Santa Anita. That was on October 14th, 6 furlongs and 112 and change. Loyal Company is next. This is a late runner for trader Brendan Walsh, and this is another son of Frosted. 6 starts, 2 wins, and 3 third-place finishes. He's 1-for-1 at Keeneland, and he's 1-for-2 with a third-place finish at this distance. He broke his maiden at Keeneland at 7 furlongs on a good track. That was in the spring, and he rallied from 6th in an 11-horse field. In his next start at 1 mile, around 1 turn at Churchill, he was 5th. Then he bounced back with a win against non-winners 2 Lifetime Allowance Company at Ellis Park at 6.5 furlongs, stalking the pace there. His last two starts, the Ellis Park Derby, he was a close third, and then he was in the Harrods Creek Stakes at Churchill at 7 furlongs, and he was well beaten third there, just getting third by a nose. So from that outside post, I would expect this one is going to try to rally from off the pace. I'm not saying a ton of pace in here. I'm thinking that Verifying has to at least be forwardly placed from the rail. You have Confidence Game coming off that layoff. You would think that they're going to want to be forward. And then the third horse that should be forwardly placed is Dr. Venkman, and he's going to be my top choice. I was very impressed with his 2 races on the West Coast. Strong speed rating, second time out at this 7 furlong distance. Love his tactical speed and outer post. So John Velasquez, if the 2 inside horses decide that they're going to be the most forwardly placed, I think he's not going to be far off of either one or both of those runners, sitting no more than a couple lanes back, stalking the pace and trying to pounce in the stretch. So Dr. Venkman is going to be my top choice, and he's number 5 in here. And in this Perryville Stakes, Dr. Venkman, my top choice. I'm going to take a shot with Raise Cain as my second choice, and maybe I'll just play a cold exacta 5-4. If I can get enough of a price on Dr. Venkman, I'd bet him to win. I just think Raise Cain is going to like this shorter distance, and then Verifying will be my third choice. Confidence Game will round out my top 4. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like this horse racing content. And then I'm going to be back, and I'm going to be doing the Raven Run Stakes at Keeneland for my next video this week. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.